I can't meet with you. It's against the rules. So,
Okay, so everybody mute themselves and we'll start.
no,
This
no.
is MoveEasy Yoga with Via, and it's January 12th, 2021. We're going to start in the ordinary fashion, just lying on your back and watching your breath. Breathing in and out, but not trying to change your breath, just observing the breath that you came in with. I love my body loves me. My body is a healing machine. Take one more breath and then bring your hands behind your head for vagus nerve reset. And remember here, you're not moving anything but your eyeballs. So just shifting your eyeballs to the right and waiting for a yawn, sigh, gulp, or sigh. If this doesn't come, keep doing this, it'll come eventually. It's just an indication that you've moved, shifted from fight and flight to restore and relax in the nervous system. Come back to center and shift your eyeballs to the left. Come back to center. Do this 2 more times by yourself without my cueing. Right, left, right, left. And when you're finished, keep your hands in the same position. And this time we're going to do head ramping, just pressing the occipital ridge, the back of the base of the skull into the hands, into the mat, into the floor. Press. The skull slides away from the shoulders, the chin drops. And then go ahead and squeeze your uh, scapula together. So the scapula retracts or comes towards the spine. And then just let all of that go and start all over again. And do this 4 more times. Head ramping plus scapular retraction. Finish up. Bring your hands down beside your hips. We're going to do Viloma breathing. So just staying where you are, supine. I don't know, why don't you turn over? Because actually one of the things you should know and remember, turn over and come into a child's pose or a prone position, hypopressive prone position, either one. I want your upper back lower than your hips. And now I'm gonna ask you to do Viloma breathing. The reason I'm starting to be aware and hope to help you become aware of that actually breathing and keeping your respiratory system healthy is really important for COVID, for preventing COVID and fighting it if you have it. And when you're on your back, the congestion that happens for a cold or COVID or anything like that happens at the bottom lobe of the lungs. So when you're on your back, you cannot fill those lobes with breath. You can almost fill them with breath, but the floor keeps you from doing that. So when you're prone like this, you can do it. So having said all that, the Viloma breathing is 3 parts. So inhale, 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 and then exhale. Pausing after each little inhale. So in your home practices, or if you ever want to do some breathing, I almost want to have you think about ways, and I'll try to include more ways that you can breathe while you're prone or in quadruped or seated so that you can feel the back of the bottom of the lungs. And then come up onto your hands and knees and then drop down into a proning hypopressive. So your hips are high, your arms are in a V, and your head is on the floor or on a brick. You might want to put a pillow or blanket underneath your chest if this is a hard position for you. We're going to do this twice. We're going to do 3 breaths and then hold the breath out, no breath, hypopressive breath for 14 counts. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale all the way out. Hold your breath in. You'll feel a little scoop in the belly. You should feel the abdominals engaging. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Whoops, that's enough. Take an inhale and an exhale. We'll do this the second time. If you hate this pose, you can lie on your back and do the basic hypopressive. Okay, let's do it again. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale all the way out. One, 2, 3, 4, Oh, no, I didn't say no breath here. 1, 2, hold your breath out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's enough. Come find your way onto your back. We're going to do some hamstring stretches. Caitlin, I want to hear from you about how this, if you can do these with your hamstring injury. So these are all from Ki-Hara. They're a set. We're going to do a medial hamstring, which is the inside hamstring, the central hamstring, which is at the back, and then the lateral hamstring, which is on the outside of the hamstring area, the under thigh, the underneath of the thigh. So in Ki-Hara, you're always moving and always resisting the movement. So the first thing you're going to do is hold on to the outside with your right hand, hold on to the right foot, the side of the foot. Not on the inside. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to do this to. So let's see here. I'm gonna bring you down here. You have to watch me. You should watch Kathy, but I have to do this. So I'm going to start on the left side, but you're going to hold on to the inside of the foot. Hold on to the inside of the foot with the same hand. So, and then you're going to come up, start high, and then pull down. The hand is resisting. The heel is pulling down toward the buttocks. And then you just go up and down here, up and down. If you may need to put a pillow or something under your head, you could put some blankets or pillows and have your whole upper back higher, and this would help you reach your foot. So that's an alternative. But here you're going up and down. Feel the resistance as you go down. You're creating strength along the medial hamstring, the inside hamstring. And then as you come up, you're creating stretch. And oops, I just realized, and the arm is in the inside and holding on to the inside of the foot. So up you go. The knee is a little towards the outside and towards the armpit. Up you go. And down. When you're coming down, the going up is a little slower. And up you go, slow. And down, this time the hand is resisting the downward movement. Always moving, always resisting. Do 2 more. You should feel a stretch along the inside of your inner thigh. Or of your, yeah. 1 more. And switch sides, do the other side. Hold on to the heel or the inside of the foot. Up and down you go. I'm holding on with my broken arm, and so I can't go very far. But I could, if I held on with my other arm, I could probably, as a modification. You should be feeling this along the inside edge of your hamstring. So Kathy's showing you where you should feel this.
Oh, yeah.
And then up and down, just slowly, knowing that when you're going up, the legs coming up, that's the stretch. And when it's coming down, that's the strength. Caitlin, how is this for you? These are sort of, I did these for you, that they also help with hips, because a lot of times hips are tight because the hamstrings are tight. Caitlin, I want to hear from you if you're there. Okay, now having done that, the next one is the lateral. So this time you're going to hold on with your Other opposite arm, you're going to come out and hold on to the foot. Let's see, how does it come? I'm on my left. Let's see, no, my right, you're going to bring the right knee towards the left armpit. So it's internal rotation, and then you're going to hold on. I think you have to climb underneath the bent knee. So let's see here. So with your left hand, come underneath and grab the heel. So, of your right leg. So let's see. I can't see Kathy. Okay, and then you go up and down. So you should be feeling it on the outside. Yeah, along there. So that's where you feel it. The knee is crossing the body, and then you're grabbing the heel. You're coming underneath and grabbing the heel, and then using your hand as the resistance point there. Up and down you go.
So the knee is pointed outward or inward?
No, knee is pointed inward across your body.
Oh, okay.
But then your hand, you're grabbing with your opposite hand.
Okay.
Let's see, underneath the back of the foot, you're grabbing the heel. I think Caitlin must have gone away, so she's not. Here I am. I put these in here for her, but she's gone away to deal with something else. But go ahead and I hope you feel this on the outer edge of the hamstring. If you don't, try to just change out your knee, the position of your knee a little bit, and see if you can find that stretch. And then the last one we're going to do on this side is straight. So your knee, this is the central hamstring. So the knee is not out or in, it's neutral, and you're going to hold on to the outside edge of your foot with both hands. And then you're going to move up and down from there. Now, let me tell you that if you are having a trouble reaching your leg, you could put a couple pillows under your back and you're going to get yourself closer to your leg. So I think this is worth demonstrating, actually. Or a sponge ball maybe would work. Or something that will bring your chest closer to your knees. And this should help you grab your foot. Let's see what can you feel the difference, Kathy?
Yeah, I can reach it better.
Yeah, that's the point. Okay, now up and down you go. And this time you should be feeling it along the center of the hamstring. So there are 3 hamstring muscles. And this set of movements is working strength and mobility for all 3. Just like big focus, an intense few minutes just working the hamstrings. Okay, now switch sides. We're going to go do all 3 on the other side. So the first time, your knee is going to the outside. You're grabbing the heel on the inside. So bring your same side arm to the heel. And now you're just going to go back and forth, resisting and moving. This is a medial hamstring. You should feel it on the inside hamstring. And you can breathe, inhale and exhale. Ki-Hara resistance stretching. Always moving, always resisting the movement. And then now we're going to go to the lateral. So this time the knee is coming across the body. You're holding onto it with your opposite arm. And grab the heel. Let's see, grab the heel. Or try to grab over the top of instead of grabbing the heel, grab over the top there. Okay, the outside. and see if that works. But that doesn't allow you as much. You need to be sure that the knee can come across your body. So that's, I'm trying to figure this out with only one arm. It's not very good. Let's see if I were on the other side. So I'm on the non-hurting side. So yeah, you're grabbing your heel. So I guess it has to be the heel so that you can still keep the knee across the body. And then up and down you go. Well, I have to say now I've grabbed the outside of the top of my foot, and that works too. But it only works if you keep the knee, moving across the body to the opposite armpit. Up and down you go. Remember, you could be almost sitting up even with a bunch of pillows under you in order to reach your destination, which is your foot in your hand. Just a couple times. You should feel this along the outside edge of the hamstring. And then the last one is the central hamstring. This time you're holding on to both sides of your foot with each hand, and then you're going up and down. This is the hardest one to reach, huh? You could use a strap, but the strap doesn't give you so much resistance. So that's why I encourage you instead to create a little packet of pillows behind you so that you can grab onto the foot. Hamstrings, this could be something you do while you're watching TV. I'm thinking you could do a modification, a version of this seated on the couch. Just imagine. Hamstring stretches. Do a couple more. And then we're going to go, oops, I got to see what, I think Caitlin has said something. Well, let's see. Caitlin says, okay, can't reach your foot, can't do the grab. She says this only works for thin, flexible people. Caitlin, I will call me and we'll work on this because this would be good for you if we can figure out how to get you there. Okay. Now we're going to do the one that Kathy and I worked on, which is a hip mobility. And then the next thing we're going to do after this is get-ups. So this starts first we're going to do test and pre-test. I mean, pre-test and then post-test. So the first thing you're going to do is sit in a Z. Sit in a Z, and these are tests. These are just tests. Sit in a Z, and then flip back and forth. So flip to the other side, and then flip back. Then this may be really hard for you, but just do your best. We're gonna do it afterwards to see if this movement becomes easier. So just switch sides, one side and then the other, and it may not be your efforts may not look as effortless as Kathy's. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh my gosh. Now, the next thing I want you to do is just do a squat. So from a standing position, come down into a squat and do a couple of them. This is also the pre-test. And we're going to see if it's better, if squatting is easier. You can bring your hands out in front of you, Kathy. When you're standing, just bring your hands out in front of you and then allow that to help you squat. Okay. Now, if it's hard for you to squat with no props, please do this against a wall or a chair. Let the wall or the chair support you. So just a couple of squats. Now, after all of that, we're going to do that again afterwards. Remind me if I forget. Kathy's going to go down into a quadruped. Make sure this is a whole series, so make sure that you have enough cushioning for your knees. Oh, the other person I want to check in with is Suzanne. So Suzanne, please. So we're going to start here. Just take your right leg out behind you. And I want Suzanne to check in with me too, because she has some hip issues today. And now Kathy's going to drop her left hip out to the outside. Just think of it as dropping it, and then start to move forward and backward. So move the hips forward and backwards from this position, this outside position. She's leaning out into her greater trochanter.
Hard to tell from that angle.
It's hard to tell from, yeah. It's hard to tell, but lean first, lean out first, and then start to move. You can do back and forth. You can do side to side. So drop one shoulder and then drop the other. All of this from the position of being out, your outer hip on the bent knee is out to the side while you're doing this. These are little micro movements. Back and forth, side to side. You can try to make little circles. Try to find a place. If you find a place that is especially tight in this hip, then stay there and do 3 or 4 reps. These are all exploratory movements. So it's going to look different for each of you. Okay. I hope you found something, some place that is kind of needs your attention. And then go ahead and do it on the other side. So switch sides. Drop your right hip out. Take your left leg back. Drop your right hip out to the side, and then move. Make your moves. Forward, backward. Side to side, so that you lift your one shoulder, you kind of twist to one side and twist to the other side, and see if you can find a place that's pretty tight that you can work on 3 to 5 reps. Just back and forth, side to side. Left and right in a circle, back, forward, left, right, circle. This is an archaeological dig. You're trying to find the places in your hips that are tight. And we're going to do two more sets that are in an additional location after we repeat this. Okay, now come on out of this, come back, hands and knees. The second location, so take your right foot, that you can extend your right leg, and then take your left foot out, away. Yes, it's out, away. The knee stays in the same position. The left foot is out, and you do all the same movements. But this time it's an internal rotation, right? So the foot is way out, and now you can drop the body, and then start to go forward and backward. Drop the upper body, push back, push forward, rotate left, rotate right. And you can do some other wiggles that might feel good to you. These are very subtle hip mobility drills. And then let's stay on this side and do the last one, and then we'll do those two, location 2 and 3 on the other side in a minute. So this time the foot comes in, just almost like a figure 4 in front of the opposite knee. You're still in that same, and now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to drop the body, upper body forward. You're going to rotate back and forth. This can be very small. Side to side. If you find a place that's really special, stay there. Your own exploration of your externally rotated hip joint. And now come back, and this time go to the other side, the other leg, and take the foot out. Extend the left leg. Take the right foot out. The knee still stays in. The right foot is out. And then lower your upper body. Move back and forth. And side to side. You can drop your one shoulder, drop the other shoulder. Really, this is all work in the hips, you guys. And you can make other little diagonal movements here. And when you're finished, go ahead and tuck your foot in front of the other knee, opposite knee, and go from here. Move your upper body forward, start rocking back and forth. This is your knee is out to the side, your foot is in. This is an externally rotated movement at the hip. So still the upper back comes forward, you go back and forth, a little bit of side to side. Oh, I found something that's tight. Nothing else was tight, but right here.
Me too, I found a spot.
And then you just want to work with that, work it out, see if you can get a little more space here. And then whenever you're finished, come back to a floor-seated position and try to do that switching of the, he calls it the shin box position. The Z Health is where I got this off. I borrowed this off of the Z Health site, which I really like. I like a lot of their suggestions. So now you're going to try to flip back and forth. How is this? Is it easier than it was before? This is the post test. No right answer, just observe. Is it easier than it was before?
Slide.
Is it easier, Kathy?
Yeah, it actually is.
A little easier, yeah.
Yeah, I feel my hips are looser.
And then go ahead and sit into any squat that you can find. This is also the post test. And see if it's easier to do. No right answer. Could be. Suzanne, how are these for you? I'd like to hear from you, either verbally or in the chat box. So is this easier for you, Kathy?
It is. It makes the squat easier. I practiced this last night and I noticed there was a difference.
So this is something, these little hip movements are something that I recommend, especially with people who believe that they have really a lot of tightness in their hips. I would be interested in knowing, Kathleen, how this is for you, actually, with some of your hip stuff. I think this might be a really good, you can see how those movements are very, very small, but not movements we do often. So now, having done all of that, we're going to go to the Get Up series. Okay, and see, hopefully this will make your get up series easier too. So the first thing we're going to do, because this is the one that you're going to fall back on if you can't do the others, is to start on the ground in quadruped, hands and knees, and then put one arm on the chair, a chair or a something in front of you, and then step forward. Kathy, step forward. Don't step forward into the camera, step forward into the chair. So there you are. You're going to come up and push up using your one leg and your hand. So do it again with the other hand, Kathy. So this is what you're going to do when you can't do anything else. And then the rest of it is going to help you with some other options. Go ahead and do a deep squat. We're going to do one for 2 minutes. Deep squat, it could be on a brick or it can be without a brick. I'm going to time you guys for, I think, 20 seconds. Oops. Just stay in the squat. I recommend, I already recommend, and I think Parvin is doing this on a regular basis, this series, this get up series, but the squat, you can do without having a practice, just squat. You know, if you want to get something out of the bottom shelf, squat. Okay, the next thing in the get up series is reverse lunge with or without support. So reverse lunge, you're standing and holding onto the back of a chair or wall, and then you bring one leg back and bend that knee, bend both knees and come down. And then come up, reverse and come up to standing. And then, so come all the way up to standing each time, Kathy. Stand and come on down. So start down, bend. And you don't have to touch the floor with your knee, but you can. The trick is to get your back leg far enough back so that it bends right down, and then the front knee still stays at 90-90. So keep doing this a couple times more. These are reverse lunges with support. You can do them without support if you're strong enough to do that and so inclined. These lunges, we're going to do a forward lunge in a minute. These lunges are really important for get-ups, for being able to get up off the floor. So finish up and find a wall. So you're going to be standing beside a wall with your hand on the right hand on the wall. You could do it with a chair too, but a wall is easy. So your right shoulder is against the wall. These are forward lunges. And you can do this without support of a wall, but just step forward, right leg steps forward and bends. The left back leg bends. Forward lunge. Come on up to standing. Other leg forward. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of how to cue this better. So this is a forward lunge. So your right leg goes forward, and your right leg should come far enough forward that you can bend your back knee, and it comes into a 90-degree angle. So you're not. It's more like that, and then come on back up to standing. There, coming back to the standing position. Forward, bend, So the bend is at the front knee, and the bottom, the back leg also bends, but it's the forward knee that I want you to think about. And then come on back up to standing. So it's a big step forward and a drop, and then coming up and then coming back. And you could be doing this with a chair nearby or a wall nearby.
Oh.
That's probably enough. If Kathy's sighing, that's probably enough. Forward and reverse lunges, very important. Let's go to a floor seated, let's see how we're doing on time. Let's go to, no, let's go to spine twist at the wall. Spine twist at the wall. First we'll do actually back bend at the wall and then spine twist. So the first thing you're going to do is stand in facing away from the wall in good posture. And just bring your arms up and over. I'm going to time for 40 seconds so that we can build some bone here. The trick is to keep your hips stacked right over your knees so that you're not pushing your pelvis forward. The chest rises. Chest goes forward. It's a back bend and a chest opener, upper back bend and chest opener. Just staying here and breathing. One of my favorite positions in the whole wide world. Come on out and let's do a side twist, spine twist, starting on the right. So the right shoulder is at the wall, right leg forward, left leg back. Bend your arms, rotate your thoracic spine, keep your hips forward. Breathe, keep breathing. Switch sides, spine twist on the left. Remember, you're rotating your thoracic spine using your arms, your shoulders to create the twist and maintain it. And come on back and let's go. I want to, let's everyone go down to the floor. I want to check in with Suzanne. Suzanne, can you unmute and tell me how you're doing? Because she can't, I encourage her to come to class even though she has some sciatic issues. Whoops, maybe she's not. Maybe she's not there. Maybe she went away. Oh, there she is. Okay, maybe Suzanne, how are you doing?
I'm here.
Yes, how are you doing? Because
Well, I'm glad I came to the class, but I'm really modifying everything. I'm just in a lot of pain. I mean, not what I'm doing, but I'm just very restrictive. But it's still good that I'm doing some movement, I think.
I think so too. And what did you say? You sent me a note saying you were able to do one exercise, but I don't know which one it was. You said this.
Oh, the second one, I couldn't grab, I was like Caitlin, and Caitlin, I'm pretty slim, and I couldn't get my, I couldn't get my ankle or anything either. So don't worry, it's nothing to do with that. It's flexibility, I think.
Right, right. Well, it has all sorts of, there's all sorts of factors, but
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
when you first start that, you have to think of ways.
Well, I used to be able to, but anyway, right now I can't, so.
Right. But you could do the hip mobility, quadruped hip mobility.
The second one where we were on our hands and knees, and that was actually felt pretty good, so.
Oh, good. That's the one I thought about when I said you should come to class. Right. Okay, we're going to go on our. Well, good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're glad that you're here. Let's go to let's do a child's pose. Let's do a child's pose with therapy balls. So grab your therapy balls. So this is releasing the back of the knees and the hamstrings, by the way, in its own odd way. You'll see. 2 therapy balls, 1 at each knee crease. And this could be very painful. So you might want to sit on a brick to make it less intense. If you are holding tension in your hamstrings or your calves, this can be pretty intense.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So you're kind of, yeah, so Kathy's going to put a brick there. That might help. The idea is to do a release, but not to, not to kill yourself in the process.
Wow. Okay. It hurts so good.
It hurts so good. Okay, that's all I want to hear. The joy pain of therapy ball myofascial release. So you can see this is getting the edges of your hamstrings and the edges of your calves. I'm going to stay here for a couple minutes. And actually, if this feels fine to you, no problem, then you could move the therapy balls back a little towards your heels, and you could keep moving them back. We'll just do two different locations. And you keep breathing, and it's just a whole different experience of joy and pain, probably. And if this is really hard for you, you could lie on your back. Show them, lie on your back, Kathy, and make a knee hug and put the balls in the crease of the knee before you hug your knee. So this is another. So can you see that this is kind of the same movement? Yeah. But not as much weight, body weight on the knee or the crease.
It feels good, just not as intense.
It's not as intense. It's, yeah. Okay, go and lie on your stomach, on prone. We're going to do the Pilates back extension, basic and airplane. Lying on your back, on your stomach, prone, your forehead on a couple of towels or washcloths, your arms beside your hips, palms up. This can be a very small movement for some people. Just go ahead and take an inhale to prepare, and then an exhale to lift your chest, your hands, and your head. Your head is in a head ramping position, and just go ahead and take a couple breaths here. And then take an inhale to prepare to come down, and an exhale to come down. And now inhale again to prepare to come up. We're going to go into airplane. Inhale and then exhale up. Inhale here to prepare to go into airplane, and then exhale. Arms come out to the side. I'm going to time you for 30 seconds. You can stay here if you can. And during this 30 seconds, you may want to try to lift your chest up just a little higher. This is building bone density in the vertebra, but it's also building muscle strength in the extensors that run alongside of the spine. Take an inhale to prepare and an exhale to come down. Bring your arms out in a T. We're going to do a thoracic release, prone thoracic release. Just the only thing you need to do, remember, is to keep your elbows and your armpits and your arms and your chest on the floor. Look to the right, bring your right leg up and over behind you. You can move your hips and your legs in any way you would like, while you keep the upper torso stable and fixed on the floor. It's actually releasing some tension and immobility in the upper back, but your thought is to keep that area stable. The legs are doing the work, legs and hips. Come on back, switch sides. Look left, lift the left leg up and over. Keep your armpits on the floor. Chest pressed into the floor. Just stay here and breathe. Come on back and find your way onto your back for Yoga Nidra. Remember that you want to be comfortable and warm. If you're in a cold climate, you may want to put a blanket over your body. You may want to put a small washcloth over your eyes. Just get settled in. Your knees are bent. Your knees could be bent and up on a chair. I actually recommend that because it releases the lower back so well. I recommend that for you, Suzanne, actually, if you want to release your lower back. So I am going to stop my video and start the meditation. Go ahead and start to notice your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. The belly is rising and falling. Now bring your awareness and your attention to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, left knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes our 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and start to bring your attention back to your entire body. Wiggle and stretch. Legs in one direction, arms overhead in the other by your ears. Create a stretch that creates more space between the rib cage and the pelvis. And then just wiggle everything. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, rotate your wrists and your ankles in both directions, one direction and then the other. And then hug your right knee to your chest. And hug your left knee to your chest. Rock from both knees, rock from side to side. And then whenever you're ready, roll all the way over to one side into a fetal position. Right, bottom arm is a pillow. Left arm, palm pressed into the floor. Bring yourself up to seated. Try not to round your back. Come into a floor-seated position. I'm going to take Kathy off the spotlight. And so here we are with, well, I have all of us. If you guys should unmute yourself and also put yourself into a gallery view if you can. We're going to close in the ordinary fashion. Bring your hands to your heart. I'm thanking the healing capacity of my body to allow me to come into a prayer pose now. Just pressing very strongly. Feel the work in your shoulders and your back. And now just relax your prayer pose. And lift the skull up toward the ceiling, the base of the skull up toward the ceiling. Your chin drops a little. You roll the skull over the top of the cervical spine, the C1. Just roll it, nod it all the way down, bowing. We're bowing to each other, acknowledging and honoring the light in each other, knowing that we are all one light. And we'll close the class by saying to each other, namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. And thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to turn off the recording.